Kansas City's going to find a way. Oakland, although they've been playing better as of late, I don't know if they can score with Kansas City, but can Kansas City find a run game? Can their defense show up and slow somebody down so they're heading into the playoffs, even if it's at home, feeling good about themselves?
The Chargers are the team that has hoped that they would be able to slide in and maybe steal the entire thing for the last couple of weeks. So we talked about that loss last week in Baltimore. You got to wonder what that did to this team's confidence level or psyche, because they got beaten down in that game at home. They're on the road against the Broncos in Denver. Broncos are 6-9.
You know, I talked to somebody in the organization after that game, and he said that this is something that I think we needed. You know, when everybody around the league was just talking, hey, this is the best team in the AFC, the most complete team, they're playing great. Everybody kind of pumped them up before that game as kind of the team to beat. And I think they got humbled a little bit. And sometimes you have those kinds of games and it refocuses you. But this isn't going to be an easy game at Denver. If you remember, they lost one to Denver just a few weeks ago. They let it slip away from them. So, you know, this could have huge implications. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with Kansas City. But, you know, Chargers, get back on track. Feel good about yourselves, because we talked about it. They got beat down last week. They can't be feeling really good about how they played. So, if nothing else, even if you have to go on the road, hey, get another win on the road. We've seen it beat Kansas City. We've seen it beat Pittsburgh. Now beat Denver, and feel good going into the playoffs that you can knock off anybody.
New York Jets have played some pretty competitive football in the last couple of weeks, including a great game in overtime last week against Green Bay that they lost. So now at 4-11, their final game of the season will be in Foxborough against the New England Patriots. Never a really good sign if you're anybody in the AFC East. And now New England, all of a sudden, life breathing back into them after their win against Buffalo, after the help that they got. They sent out a congratulatory thank you tweet to Nick Foles. I mean, you know, the whole bit about the fact that right now they had it delivered on a platter, the number 2 seed, and the 1 seed is still an outside possibility.
I mean, New England can't lose this one, can they? I know they're not the same team this year, and they've had their struggles, especially on the road, but there's no way they're going to allow the Jets to beat them and take away some sort of home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But I will say, Sam Darnold played his best game of the year last week against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. I thought he played tremendous. They should have won that game. They got away from him late. But, you know, can he do enough to stay in this game with New England not playing great? Maybe, but I still believe New England is going to find a way to win this game and at least hold on to that number 2 seed.
Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills get together to close out the season up in Buffalo. Dolphins were knocked out of the playoffs last week in a loss at home to Jacksonville, trying to end up at 500 as they come in at 7-8. The Buffalo Bills 5-10.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those games we talked about playing for next year. You know, Ryan Tannehill, is this his last game in a Miami Dolphins uniform? Is he trying to solidify a spot there? And then Buffalo, I think it's another game for the young quarterback to try to take some strides and build towards the future.
Hey, NFL fans, order from NFLShop.com today and get free shipping at the official store of the NFL, NFLShop.com. Up next, Kurt tells us that the Cowboys and Seahawks will continue their hot streaks heading into the postseason. This is NFL Preview.
You knew the risks when you decided to drive drunk. There could be a crash. People could get hurt or killed. You could get arrested, do jail time, and lose your license. One thing is for sure. You were wrong when you said it was no big deal. Lose it and lose it. Paid for by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Downtown will be packed New Year's Eve, so don't waste time waiting in line. Get a fast pass to Tootsie's, Ribby's, Honky Tonk Central, The Diner, and Kid Rock's Honky Tonk. The fast pass is on sale now and offers priority entry to all 5 places, party favors, a midnight toast, and New Year's Eve specials. The fast pass is $100 starting the 27th. Bring cash to Tootsie's, Ribby's, Honky Tonk Central, The Diner, or Kid Rock's Honky Tonk, and get your fast pass to the best New Year's Eve parties on Broadway.
This is Tim Blunt, owner of the New Balance Nashville store. Here's an important question for the new year. Are you average? If you're average and you want a new pair of running or walking shoes, I suggest you go to an average shoe store where they'll sell you a pair of average shoes built for the average athlete with average size feet. But here's the thing, you're not average. No one is. We We all exercise differently, we run differently, we walk differently, and our feet come in all sorts of widths and lengths. That's why at the New Balance Nashville store, we employ fit specialists who will conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot's size and shape along with your gait, and then determine the best New Balance shoes custom fit to you. Why not make this a happy new year with fantastic New Balance shoes and a custom fit? You know what? You're worth it. Experience the difference an unaverage custom fit makes today at the New Balance Nashville store, located on Cool Springs Boulevard across from P.F. Chang's. Your feet will thank you.
The Sports Station 104.5.
Continue along on NFL preview. Getting you ready for Week 17. The Seahawks play at home against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, Seattle is in the playoffs. They could end up being the 5 seed or the 6 seed, depending upon the way things break down in the NFC. That said, Pete Carroll has already said that he is going to go hard after this game and play his regulars. It's another one of those deals where the coach could decide to pull back. He's not doing that. Arizona comes in at 3-12.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle's just a different team at home. Now, we know they're going to have to go on the road throughout the playoffs, but I don't see any way Arizona's going to go in and knock them off in this one. Playing really good at home, trying to get on a roll, see if they can carry that into the playoffs. Arizona's just got all kinds of issues. Being that it's where I live, I'm interested to see how it all plays out when the season is over. But this is all right there in front of Seattle. Hold on to that 5th seed with a win. I think they take care of business.
Dallas Cowboys are on the road, taking on the Giants in the Meadowlands for the season finale. New York lost the final gun last week to the Indianapolis Colts. They're 5-10. Dallas has wrapped up the division, and they know that they are playing a home playoff game next weekend on Saturday or Sunday as the 4 seed. So, once again, with all of that laying out in front of you that way, Kurt, what do you do for Jason Garrett?
I tell you what, I mean, I play my guys at least to a degree. I want them to believe they can win on the road because, as you said, they're going to have one home game, but that's all they're going to get. They are going to have to win a game or two on the road if they're going to advance. And you look at this team, they're 7-1 at home, 2-5 on the road. I mean, it's just completely different teams. So, to me, I go in there against one of my rivals, and I try to get a win and let my guys know, hey, whatever happens come playoff time, we can win at home, we know that, but we can also go on the road and find ways to win as well.
Lions and the Packers get together to close out the season. Lions have struggled offensively of late, 5-10. Green Bay 6-8-1. They can't end with a 500 record, but maybe a little bit of momentum off of that overtime victory at the Meadowlands last week against the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, Green Bay, I'm just kind of waiting. I know they're starting to interview coaches and bring guys in. What's the future going to look like there? I mean, you still have Aaron Rodgers. We saw it last week. They fell behind, and he does his thing and brings them back to get a win. I think you always want to end on a high note if you're Green Bay, get a couple wins here, and hopefully parlay that into a much better season next year. Detroit, on the other hand, I'm not really sure where they're going and what their future is. I almost feel like it's like, hey, we've already packed our bags. Let's get out of here and shake things up and get back to next year. I expect Green Bay to get this one at home.
And the Falcons and the Bucks get together to close out their seasons. Atlanta at 6-9, Tampa Bay at 5-10.
Yeah, another one. You look at Tampa Bay and you start wondering, okay, Jameis Winston, he's played some decent football since he's been reinserted in the starting lineup. Is this it for him? Is he trying to convince them to keep him for that last year on his deal, or is he, building his resume for someone else? Atlanta, ironically enough, has actually been playing a little bit better as of late, but I just think the Atlanta situation is they got away from early with injuries. We know what we have there. We know that there's a lot of playmakers on offense. You get those guys healthy on defense, they're going to be back next year. There's some coaching changes. How did they shake things up? But right now, I think it's just, hey, let's play this last game. Let's get into the offseason. Let's get healthy.